What if I told you that this world, this reality you see and touch, was never meant to feel like home? What if the ache you carry in your chest, that quiet longing for something more, isn't a flaw, but a memory, a sacred echo of a place your soul remembers, but your mind has forgotten? You see, there's a reason you've always felt different, like a stranger in your own life, like you were meant for something else. And maybe it's because you were, because your soul's true home isn't here. This isn't just a poetic metaphor, it's a deeper truth, one that lives in the spaces between your thoughts, in your dreams, in those moments of silence, when everything stops and something ancient whispers, "This isn't all there is." This video is a remembering, a soft unpeeling of the veil, a journey back, not to a place, but to a frequency, the frequency of home, a home without walls, without names, without time, the place where you were infinite, where you were one with everything, where you were pure awareness, before the forgetting. So why did you leave? Why would a soul so whole, so luminous, so free, choose to come here, to a world of density, of fear, of noise? Because this realm, this earth, isn't a prison. It's a classroom, and your longing for home, it's not meant to punish you. It's meant to guide you, a compass made of stars, pointing not backward, but inward. Because the home your soul remembers doesn't live in the sky. It lives in your being. But to remember it, you had to forget. Before you were born, before you took this name, this face, this form, you were part of something vast, not a body, not a story, but a field of light, a pulse of divine awareness. And in that space beyond space, you knew peace, you knew oneness, you were everything. There was no separation, no fear, no doubt, only the gentle hum of source, the original frequency of love. So why come here? Why step into the chaos? Why choose the pain of forgetting, the sorrow of separation, the confusion of this strange, dense world? Because evolution does not happen in comfort. Growth does not bloom in stillness. And so, your soul said, "Let me go. Let me fall into the dream. Let me forget so I may remember again, with depth, with contrast, with choice." You see, remembering is a miracle, but it can only happen after forgetting. That's why, even as a child, you may have looked up at the stars and thought, "I don't belong here." You weren't wrong, but you weren't broken either. You were homesick, because somewhere deep inside, your soul remembers the soft embrace of the eternal, the language of light, the warmth of unity. And earth, it felt heavy, strange, loud, too much, and not enough. But that ache, that holy homesickness, it's not here to make you suffer. It's a thread, a golden thread running through the fabric of your life, waiting for you to follow it back, not to the stars, but to your center. Because your soul's home isn't out there. It's not a planet. It's not a place. It's a state, a vibration, a remembering of who you were before the world told you who to be. There comes a moment when the veil begins to thin. It doesn't always look mystical. Sometimes it looks like burnout, like heartbreak, like grief so deep it silences everything else. And in that silence, something stirs, a remembering, not loud, not logical, but unmistakable, a soft knowing. This world is not all there is. You begin to see through the illusion that you are only this body, only this name, only this job, this history, this mind. You begin to feel something deeper watching it all, something ancient, something still, a presence behind your thoughts. That presence is you, the real you. Not the persona, not the mask, but the witness, the essence. And when you touch that space, even for a breath, you feel it. Home, not as a location, but as a state of being, a sacred alignment where your heart remembers its true rhythm, where your soul whispers, "You never really left." That's the paradox. Your soul's true home isn't here, but it's also not somewhere else. It's not a destination. It's a dimension hidden within this one. And to access it, you don't need to escape the world. You need to awaken within it, to walk through the illusion with eyes wide open, to sit in the chaos and carry stillness in your chest, to touch the pain without becoming it. Because the deeper truth is this: you are not here to run from earth. You are here to bring heaven to it, not by preaching, but by embodying, by living as if you remember where you came from. And in doing so, you become a bridge between dimensions, between the seen and unseen, between the ache of separation and the joy of reunion. So now you know. The ache you've carried, that subtle emptiness that nothing external could fill, was never a flaw. It was your compass. It was the memory of home, whispering through your bones. And the beauty is this: you don't need to leave this world to feel at home again. You just need to return to yourself. Because home is not a place, it's a frequency. And every time you slow down, every time you breathe with intention, every time you meet the moment with presence, you re-enter it. You recalibrate your being to the vibration of your source. And from that space, everything changes. You stop chasing. You start remembering. You stop identifying with the storm. You become the stillness beneath it, and people feel it. Without a word, your presence reminds them of something they too forgot, that they are more than a role, more than a body, more than a lifetime. They are soul, infinite, ancient, sacred. And when you live from that remembering, you bring heaven closer, not through perfection, not through trying to fix the world, but by simply being a vessel of the frequency your soul calls home. You want to feel closer to your truth? Try this. Affirmation. Practice. Each morning, before the world gets loud, close your eyes and whisper, "I remember who I am. I remember where I come from. I carry the light of home within me." Feel it in your cells. Feel it in your spine. Let that truth become your anchor, because the more you align with it, the more your outer world begins to shift. You'll attract resonance. You'll magnetize clarity. You'll find your soul family, those who vibrate with the same remembering, not by force, but by frequency. So now you see, your soul's true home was never out there. It was never a mountaintop, a temple, a faraway star. It was always within you, waiting, calling, whispering through dreams, through silence, through the moments when the world grew quiet enough for you to listen. And if you felt that calling, if something deep within you stirs when you hear these words, it means you're remembering that you are not just here to survive this life. You are here to illuminate it, to carry the frequency of home into every space you enter, to become a living bridge between dimensions, between forgetting and remembering. You don't need to be a guru. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present, soft, real, rooted, because your presence is a transmission, your energy is a lighthouse, and every time you live from your truth, you give others silent permission to remember theirs. This is how the world begins to awaken, not through force, but through frequency. One soul at a time, one moment of remembering at a time. So if your life has felt heavy, if you've carried grief or confusion or longing, please know this: you're not broken. You're not lost. You're just remembering. And remembering isn't always easy, but it's sacred, it's holy, and you're not alone. So many of us are walking this path with you, holding the same ancient ache in our chests, turning our pain into light, our longing into truth. If this message touched something deep inside you, don't keep it hidden. Share it. With someone who's forgotten where they come from. With someone whose soul is whispering, but whose mind has forgotten how to listen. Because this remembering, it's not just yours, it's ours. It's how we return, together, to the place that was never a place, but a vibration, a truth, a light that lives within us all. And maybe now, just maybe, you feel a little closer to it. Welcome back, traveler. You made it. You're home.